Let's begin our journey with some statistics. Look at, compare the list of Fortune 500 companies and 1955 and 2015. So how many companies remain in 2015? Do you have any idea? Out of 500 companies who existed in 1955 and compared with 2015, so how many companies do you expect them to be there in both the list? Any idea? It's only 12%. It's only 12%. And what could be the possible reason? You just look at the list. Pfizer, General Electric, General Motors, then which other companies? Chevron, Cummins, DuPont, Navistar, and you'll find one common aspect in all the companies. What could be that? Any idea what could be that? Why they existed? It's because they anticipated the technology disruption. They kept on innovating. So innovation was the fundamentals. I just want to take that one. Market acceptance. These are the two underlying principles of innovation. Now, innovation is a journey. It's a journey which starts from idea, which gets conceptualized, what we call invention, and from invention, there's a journey again to the commercialization, and even commercialization doesn't mean that it is an innovation unless it is accepted by the people, by the society. Then it is called innovation. Now look at the innovation ecosystem. There is idea creator, there is industry innovator, investor, advocates, and resource provider. Now these are the two very, very important pillars in the innovation ecosystem. So university, now my talk is the industry classroom to boardroom, innovation and IP classroom to boardroom. So the idea creator is basically the universities and institute. You have a lot of ideas, fertilization of thoughts, young people, young mind, and then its idea is born over there. Then they are conceptualized up to lab scale, but somebody has to take it to the next commercial level. So that's the industry. So there has to be a wonderful synergy between the industry and academia. Although investor without fund, nothing is possible. Advocates, the creation of IP and technology transfer, license agreement, and resource provider is your incubators. Could be universities, could be different incubators. But I'm not talking about that's India is lacking. Here incubators means renting agencies. You have some buildings, you have some labs, but they don't. Look at Stanford. It's a wonderful ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. Incubator is supposed to provide an ecosystem where innovation can be nurtured. Now we'll discuss more about the idea creator and industry innovator. For a successful innovation, there has to be symbiotic relationship between the university and academia, and it really fostering in the economic development of nation. Both have distinct organization principle. If you look at university and the academia industry, you will have different organization culture which are conflicting in nature. For example, public mission. For universities, public mission. For industry, it is shareholder value. Publication revenue. But to have a wonderful symbiotic relationship, they have to work together on a common belief. What's the common belief? If there is public mission and shareholder value, the common belief is the value for the society. One one talks about publication, or talks about revenue. So these are the common value. This is the well established. And there's a wonderful article I obtained it from the Science Direct. And if you read, if you're interested, you'll find there is a wonderful business model between industry and academia given over there. Now this industry and academia business model for development of a model framework for effective collaboration between industry and academia, there are very important parameters, 6 key areas we have to look into. What are these? Collaboration, knowledge sharing, culture. Culture means promoting entrepreneurial culture, financial support, communication, and policies to overcome the administrative hurdles, because in university there is a kind of requirement in industry. So when they collaborate, lot of administrative hurdles come in on your way. So there has to be some policies to bring transparency and clarity, because every relationship you need transparency and clarity, be it a human relationship or the industry academia relationship. But in India, what's the problem is we do not have IP policy or any kind of policies in place. Of course, IITs, I'm not talking about IITs or the big institution. And if you really take care of those 6 key areas, then outcome is guaranteed. It's tangible research, patent licensing, commercialization of product, publication, intellectual property, doctoral thesis, social benefit, which all lead to the innovation. Now you have innovation, and managing innovation better than the competitor is the key for your survival. All those 61 companies who survived over the period of 50 years, they could manage their innovation better than their competitors. How you can do? Now it's by effective IP protection and leveraging the IP. There is no point having when we were young and I had seen at least 6, Topaz, Centwin, then Mac, there was another blade. So eventually, when the Mac 2 was launched, eventually each and every blade perished. They call it, I'll just mention, space around them. Nobody could come close to Gillette. Go to anywhere, go to Walmart. Even there you will not find, most of the products are Gillette. Patent facilitated venture capital investment. So there was a study in one of those universities I was reading while preparing the slide. They said 80% investment happens only where there is IP protection. Sorry. Defense against attacks by rival. There's one classic example of, there's a company, a startup called Nest, which they developed a thermostat, which is smart thermostat, and which was a threat, which became a threat to Honeywell. And in the meantime, they built up that IP portfolio in such a way, and they acquired about 17 or 18 patents from the different companies. And literally, they pushed Honeywell out of the market on that particular product. Eliminating infringer, that every now and then you hear from Apple. Apple is they sued so many companies. We protruded from this Nokia phone. Then there's a Puente or something like that. He created one antenna which is embedded inside the phone, and he licensed the product to all multinational companies, and his product was actually commercialized and earned 0.1 cent per bottle sold. And do you, can you imagine the quantum of his earning? A camera, it has eliminated your email, your computers. It has eliminated. It is going to eliminate, I believe, I do not know, your all blood sugar machine where your space.
So far it has not eliminated his life.
And it is going to eliminate the relationship. That also. I hope we should not get into that day. Even you're right. Most of the time, even at home, I see I am on the dining table doing something for no reason. I can't. I do not know how that. So Google bought recently. Google bought Motorola Mobility, 17,000 patents, $12.5 billion. Microsoft, 800 patents, $1 billion. Qualcomm earned $6.6 billion in patent licensing per year. IBM licenses patent for more than 1 billion per year. Honeywell licensed 2 autofocus patents, 300 million. Godrej bought is also a trademark from Jet Home Care product in INR 300 million. But how? The figures are wonderful, it's really good to see, but how it is possible? It reminds me of the Archimedes' famous statement, if you give me a lever of a sufficient length and a fulcrum in the right place, I can move the world. Yes, it's possible. If you have IP coverage, you have the business advantage. Only thing you need to know how to manage the innovation. So innovation and IP, that's why the title, the innovation and IP. There has to be a wonderful marriage between innovation and IP. So it can be done, achieved by effective IP strategy. So what are the, again, these are the pointers. I'm not going into details. Most of the time, IP strategy and business strategy, they don't talk to each other. They are not aligned to each other. So they must talk to each other. These strategies, not only the alignment, most important is it should be appropriate to the competitive environment. Patent portfolio, whatever you develop, it should be developed on some purpose. There should be some basis, some one example, patent portfolio provide licensing revenue. One, you eliminate other people, your competitors. At the same time, if you use your IP to license and earn revenue, that is called the patent portfolio developed on purpose. We should be much ahead of time. Today, a patent grant takes 4 to 5 years. So even today, you file an application, you get your right 5 years from now. Whether your technology would be relevant at that point of time. So you have to, whatever you develop and seek protection, that you should have a futuristic point of view. Famous example is 3G and now it's 7G when you are talking about communication the satellite level. So right now in India, of course, living beside 4, 5, 6 cities where you have 4G, but primarily it is 3G. But we are filing thousands of applications for big companies in the world on 6G now. And patent quality is as important as the portfolio size. Always I say, being an attorney, I always say, it should be to a client, it should be based on some reason, it should be aligned with the strategy, and you should not go by the number. You limit your number, but it should be a quality invention, quality patents. Again, indiscriminate patent filing is a waste of money. It's paying the attorneys, paying the government. There should be a business case behind filing each patent. So when your business strategy and IP strategy talk to each other, then automatically there has to be some business case behind the patent filing. Focus on competitive advantage. Again, remember, value of patent is not absolute. It depends on your competitor's patent. It's self-explanatory because you may have a wonderful invention, but if it does not have a competitive advantage over your competitor, then you may have 1,000 patents in different countries. It's of no value. For that reason, market intelligence is very important. You should know what would be the landscape from the 5 years from the now, and landscape of your competitors, how they are doing. What are the area they are working on. Patentability search, landscape, white space analysis, these are the pre-filing assignments that we need to do before filing a patent application. Or should we put it in the locker? Google's proprietary search algorithm, that's nobody knows till date. Or Hamdar's laboratory, Ruabza, KFC's, spices, nobody knows about that. So that could be one possibility that your innovation can be managed. So the journey is successful from classroom to boardroom when you have synergy between industry and academia, and they work together on the common belief. Institutional IP policy which has flexibility. Policy is not only policy is required, you need a flexibility in the policy. Promote entrepreneurial ecosystem. You see, unless you ignite the minds of the young people, innovation, that culture is not going to take the center stage. You have to create, like IISc Bangalore, they have the provision of starting spin-off companies. Even in IIT Hyderabad, they have the provision. So a lot of students and professors they have started their own company, and they're reasonably doing well in, at least I know, in IIT Hyderabad. Incentivizing by benefit sharing, leveraging an IP, and finally creating value for the society. And let me conclude my talk by paying tribute to a great thinker, and again Nimita also cited him, and as the great innovator Steve Jobs, and who believes the innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Either you innovate or you perish. And again, nation waits for this innovation as a country.